Yeah, now we happen to be on the Hebrew date of 3rd of Iyar, Gimel Iyar, as we say respectively. It marks the Hilula of a really famous rabbi, Rosh, I believe, of the famous Yeshivat Yekiri Yerushalayim, a place that we've spoken about on various occasions before, inside this, let's say, incredible series that we are doing, or we've been doing for a long time at the moment. His name was Rabbi Reuven Sharabani Z'tl, one of the great rabbis of his time. I believe was born in English year 1944. He passed away on the 3rd of Iyar in the year 2018. He will become a great Kabbalist, a Darshan also, and will be very much, say, the head of the Yeshivat Yekiri Yerushalayim, Rosh Kollel also, head of a Kollel of Yeshuעות Ya'akov, and part of various different, let's just say, education frameworks in of itself, especially, I think, with regards to famous Yeshivat or Help Moed. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he actually came from great rabbinic auspices. I believe his father's name was Rav Yosef Chaim Sharabani, another great rabbi, who I believe was a ram in Yeshivat Porat Yosef, and was one of the great, let's say, Kabbalists, מקובל in Emet, in another famous institution, Torah institution, Emet V'Shalom, respectively. His mother's name was Rabbanit Shulamit, and I think Sol Lebeit Talabi, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Now, when he was young, he would actually study Torah at a very high level in the Bnei Tzion institution, a place we've spoken about on various occasions before. There happened to be a Talmud Torah for the Eidut Mizrach, the Sephardi community. I believe it was based actually in the Bukhari neighborhood in Jerusalem. Now, afterwards, he would go on to learn in the famous Yeshivat Porat Yosef, let's say the bastion of the Sephardic Yeshivot in Israel, along with various other great rabbis, including the famous Rabbi Yehuda Mo'alem. Now, the rabbi was spoken about on various occasions before. I believe it was actually his Hilula just after the festival of Sukkot. He passed away 104 years ago, respectively, nearly, approximately. Another one of the great rabbis he learned with was Rav Yosef Moshe Ades, another great rabbi. Rav Mansur Ben Shimon, another one of the famous rabbis of yesteryear. And Rabbi Ben Sion Abba Shaul, and Rabbi Yehuda Tzadka, and Rabbi would become the Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Porat Yosef. He passed away in the year 1991. Rabbi Ben Sion Abba Shaul, once again, was a Rosh Yeshiva of Porat Yosef. So many of the rabbis he actually learned with happened to be great rabbis, especially from the nucleus of Yeshivat Porat Yosef. Now, he would get married to Rabbanit Dalia. She happened to be the daughter of Rabbi Yaakov Sudri. Now, mentioned Rabbi Yaakov Sudri, who actually did a video on him. He was famous for performing many, many thousands of Brit Milot as a mohel, respectively, and was a great rabbi of his time. Very interesting enough. Now, he would actually form together with Rabbi Yehuda Cohen. Rabbi Yehuda Cohen happened to also be Rosh Yeshiva of Yeshivat Yekiri Yerushalayim, if I'm not mistaken, and the Be'ed Talmud, respectively, and was part of the Moatzot Chachmei Torah, Yeshivat or Help Moed, interesting enough. And I think come what the year Tafshin Mem Gimel, that'll be the foundation of Yeshivat Yekiri Yerushalayim, respectively. And he would give over various different, let's say, Torah classes over there, I think for many, many years. This will be for many dozens of years over there. He was part of, let's say, the Hanahala, of the manager side of the Reshet Ma'ayan HaChinuch HaTorani. It's part of the educational framework in of itself. And I think he would be very well traveled also, especially he would travel to Argentina and Brazil, the various different South American communities over there. And over there he would give over different talks, drashot, educational in of itself. And much, much more can be said within regards to that. We see really the ways he would actually move from place to place in of itself. And many would come to his house for brachot, for blessings and advice, etzot, and especially all throughout his time. Sadly, I believe during the last decade of his life, it's reported that he did suffer from illnesses, multiple sclerosis and cancer, sadly. He passed away, I think it was in Parshat Tazria, in the year 2018, and he was buried in Har Menachot, the Mount of Resting Place, in Jerusalem, respectively. I think various different synagogues will be, let's say, perpetuated under his name, now including his Beit Knesset, Beit Midrash, Well Reuven, interesting enough, and a Beit Knesset called Yechir Reuven, in the Shchonat Ramat Shlomo, interesting, in Jerusalem. This Ramat Shlomo is a place that we visited on this channel. Now let's explore some of his sons, around with regards to his descendants. Rabbi Yeshua happened to become a ram of Yeshivat called Torah. Then Rabbi Ya'akov was a Rosh Yeshiva of Ohel Yosef and Tzrota Torah, respectively. Rabbi Meir was a Rosh Kibbutz Yeshiva, Lev Eliyahu. Rab Elchanan was a ram in Yeshivat, Lev Eliyahu, also respectively. And I think he would bring back various different Torah works in of itself. Then Clara Batal, I believe, was one of the descendants, one of the daughters. And Rivka Vardi, I believe, also had got married to Rav Yaakov Vardi, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was very much part of the Yeshivat Kol HaTorah in of itself, respectively, also. So he left great famous descendants. Now, he left some great Torah books, also including Rabbi Yeshua, which include Darash B'Chochmah, which actually came out through the Otsar Chochmah, respectively. Various different Musa classes, Shemirat Anayim, talking about Tikkun HaBrit, I believe. Then the Divrei Yeshua, once again printed, I think, through Otsar HaChochmah, which was another great book on Chinuch and Midot, characteristics, respectively. Yechir Reuven was in two parts, two sections, Aleph and Bet, respectively. The first one was mainly Hespedim, and I believe the second part of Yechir Reuven was talking about Rosh Hashanah and with regards to how we behave during prayers, during tefillot, respectively. He was a great rabbi of his time. I believe among his students was Rabbi Ben Sion Aton, and Rabbi Eliyahu Abba Shaul, another rabbi who happens to be, I think, is Hilula towards the end of this week. So that is very interesting. And he was about 73 years of age at the time he passed away, the great rabbi. Now, he was also born in the month of Iyar, just like he passed away in Gimel Iyar. He was born actually on Yud Chet Iyar and Lag BaOmer, respectively. So the month of Iyar was same date when he was born and he passed away, sadly. So friends, please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. We are a community. We're learning about the great rabbis of Yasir. If you happen to be descended from any of the great chachamim we are speaking about, please send me a comment. We would love to hear more. If you know of anyone that will be interested in watching these videos, share the videos to these people respectively. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Wishing you blessings here from Israel, and take care and be well.